Ludwig John Beccaro, Matthew Paserno, Joseph O. Pick, Christopher J. Pickford, Dennis J. Pierce, Bernard Panatrico, Nicholas P. Petrunti, Theodorus Pigus, Susan Elizabeth Pinto, Joseph Piscadlo, Christopher Jod Pittman, and my father, firefighter Donald Joseph Regan. Dad, Mom, Shane, Jimmy, and I miss you more than words could describe. You are forever our hero. Your 12 grandchildren know who you are and love who you were. Your memory and your legacy not only live on through us, but will continue to live on through them as well. I will forever be your princess, and I love and miss you always and never forget.
Joshua Michael Piver, Robert J. Ploger III, Zandra F. Ploger, Joseph Clementallo, John M. Pocher, William Howard Pullman, Lawrence Michael Politosh, Thomas H. Polhamus, Steve Policino, Susan M. Polio, Darren H. Pontel, Joshua Isra Poptine, Giovanna Porras, Anthony Portillo, James Edward Patorti, Daphne Paletzos, Richard N. Polis, Stephen Emmanuel Polis, Brandon Jerome Powell, Scott Allen Powell, Sean Edward Powell, Antonio Dorsey Pratt, Gregory M. Preziosi, Wanda Prince. And from Bayonne, New Jersey, I pay tribute to my dear friend Linda Macco's father, who died in the First World Trade Center attack on February 26, 1993. Rest in peace, Bill William Macco. God bless Tunnel to Towers, and God bless us all.
Vincent A. Princiata, Kevin M. Pryor, Everett Martin Proctor III, Carrie Beth Projan, David Lee Pruitt, Chief Richard A. Prunty, John Foster Puckett, Robert David Puglisi, Edward F. Bullis, Patricia Ann Puma, Jack D. Punches, Herman K. Putor, Joseph J. Fesor Jr., Edward R. Pycon, Christopher Quackenbush, Lars Peter Qualbin, Lincoln Quape, Beth Ann Quigley, Patrick J. Quigley IV, Michael T. Quilty, James Francis Quinn, Ricardo J. Quinn, Carol Millicent Rabelais, Christopher Peter Anthony Raccanello. And my cousin, firefighter Joseph R. Ravelli, Ladder Company 25, Fire Department, City of New York, and the 14 members of the New York City Police Department Emergency Service Unit. Never forget. Thank you, Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Leonard J. Regaglia. Eugene J. Raggio. Laura Marie Raganese Snick. Michael Paul Ragusa. Peter Frank Raimondi. Harry A. Rains. Lisa J. Rains. F. E. Sham Raja. Valsa Raju. Edward J. Rawl. Lucas Rambusek. Maria Ramirez. Harry Ramos. Vishnu Ramsarup. Deborah A. Ramsor. Lorenzo E. Ramsey. Alfred Todd Rank. Adam David Rand. Jonathan C. Randall. Shreyas S. Ranganath. Ann T. Ransom. Faina Rappaport. Rhonda Sue Rasmussen. Robert A. Rasmussen. And my father, William Vincent Steckman. Dad, we miss you every day and love you very much. And we hold on to the good memories, the love, and the wisdom that you shared with us, and your quirky sense of humor. We'll miss you forever and love you so much.
Armenia Rasul, R. Mark Rasweiler, Marcia D. Ratchford, David Allen James Rathke, William Ralph Robb, Gerard F. Rousey, Alexei Razuviev, Gregory Retta, Sarah Ann Redheffer, Michelle Marie Reed, Judith Ann Reese, Donald J. Regan, Robert M. Regan, Thomas Michael Regan, Christian Michael Otto Regenhard, Howard Reich, Greg Reedy, James Brian Riley, Kevin O. Riley, Timothy E. Riley, Joseph Reyna Jr., Thomas Barnes Reinig, Frank Bennett Reisman, Joshua Scott Reese, and my brother, Captain John R. Fisher, FDNY Ladder 20. Forever remembered, forever brave, forever admired, for all you gave, forever here, forever there, forever a hero everywhere.
Karen Renda. John Armand Rio. Richard Cyril Rescorla. John Thomas Resta. Sylvia Sanpio Resta and her unborn child. Martha M. Rezke. David E. Reddick. Todd H. Rubin. Luis Clodoaldo Revilla Mir. Edovigus Reyes Jr. Bruce Albert Reynolds. John Frederick Rhodes. Francis Savaro Ricciardo. Rudolph N. Riccio. Anne Marie Ricobono. David Harlow Rice. Kenneth Frederick Rice III. Elaine Mary Rice. Cecilia E. Richard. Vernon Allen Richard. Claude Daniel Richards. Gregory David Richards. Michael Richards. Venetia Ornata Richards. And my father, Walter A. Matuza Jr. We love you. We miss you. Throughout this tough year, your smile would have been a great help, but knowing how strong you are really carried us throughout the way, and our strength is really through you. Thank you.
Jimmy Riches, Alan J. Richmond, John M. Rigo, Frederick Charles Ramelli III, Rosemary Riso, Moises N. Rivas, Joseph R. Ravelli Jr., Carmen Alicia Rivera, Isaias Rivera, Juan William Rivera, Linda Evelise Rivera, David E. Rivers, Joseph R. Reverso, Paul M. Rizza, John Frank Rizzo, Stephen Louis Roach, Joseph Roberto, Leo Arthur Roberts, Michael E. Roberts, Michael Edward Roberts, Donald Walter Robinson Jr., Jeffrey Robinson, Michelle Lee Jean Robotham, Donald Arthur Robson, my cousin, Joseph Obignolo, your parents, your wife, your siblings, and children miss and love you. You are now a grandfather of 3 and soon to be 4. You would be proud of your family. I love you. To my brother-in-law, Paul Matthew Fiore, we miss you and love you every day. Please continue to watch over Linda and the girls. Debbie is now 21 and is the spitting image of you. Adriana is 19 and has your wit. You live on through them. Your infectious laugh and never-ending smile are forever etched in our memories. You will never be forgotten. We love you.
Antonio A. Roca, Raymond James Roca, Laura Rockefeller, John Michael Rodak, Antonio Jose Rodriguez, Anthony Rodriguez, Carmen Milagros Rodriguez, Gregory E. Rodriguez, Marcia A. Rodriguez, Myra Valdez Rodriguez, Richard Rodriguez, David Bartolo Rodriguez Vargas, Matthew Rogan, Jean Destrehan Rohair, Carly Rogers, Scott William Roner, Keith Michael Roma, Joseph M. Ramagnolo, Efren Romero Sr., Elvin Romero, James A. Romito, Sean Paul Rooney, Eric Thomas Ropito, Aida Rosario, and my beautiful sister, Mary Yolanda Dowling. Yolanda, when you were alive, you sang with the voice of an angel, and on 9/11, you had the heart of a lion. You put others before yourself and helped them out of the second tower. We are so proud of you. We miss you. We love you every day. Daddy, who's 94 now, says he thinks about you each and every single day. And I also want to remember my friend, Russ Siller, who's not here with us. Russ was the big brother of Stephen. I had the good fortune to know Russ before Tunnel to Towers Foundation came to be. It was an idea from their wonderful family, and my hearts go out to Sally, to Jackie, and to Frank Siller, who I cannot thank enough for helping us lift our voices today to remember everyone. God bless you. God bless Tunnel to Towers.
It is an honor to read the following names. Angela Rosario, Mark H. Rosen, Brooke David Rosenbaum, Linda Rosenbaum, Cheryl Lynn Rosenbaum, Lloyd Daniel Rosenberg, Mark Lewis Rosenberg, Andrew Ira Rosenblum, Joshua M. Rosenblum, Joshua Allen Rosenthal, Richard David Rosenthal, Philip Martin Rosenzweig, Daniel Rossetti, Richard Barry Ross, Norman S. Rosenau, Nicholas P. Rosamondo, Michael Craig Rothberg, Donna Marie Rothenberg, Mark David Rothenberg, James Michael Rowe, Nicholas Charles Alexander Rowe, Edward V. Rowenhorst, Judy Rolette, Timothy Allen Roy Sr., husband, father, son, uncle, and my brother, Bruce Edward Simmons, who we all love and miss so much. May you rest in peace until we all meet again. Thank you to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation from the bottom of our hearts for today and for all you do. You all are extraordinary. We will never forget. God bless us all.
Paul G. Ruback, Ronald J. Rubin, Joanne Rubino, David M. Ruddle, Bart Joseph Ruggiere, Susan A. Ruggiero, Adam Keith Ruhalter, Gilbert Ruiz, Robert E. Russell, Stephen P. Russell, Stephen Harris Rosen, Michael Thomas Russo Sr., Wayne Allen Russo, William R. Ruth, Edward Ryan, John Joseph Ryan, Jonathan Stephen Ryan, Matthew L. Ryan, Tatiana Rajova, Christina Sunga Ryuk, Thierry Sada, Jason Elazar Sabag, Thomas E. Sabella, Scott H. Saber, and my cousins, John Vigiano and Joseph Vigiano. We love you so much. We miss you every day, and we will continue to do good in your honor. Thank you.
Charles E. Sabin, Sr., Joseph Francis Sacerdote, Jessica Lee Sachs, Francis John Sedocha, Jude Elias Safi, Brock Joel Safranoff, Edward Saya, John Patrick Salamone. Marjorie C. Salamone. Hernando Rafael Salas. Juan G. Salas. Esmeralyn Antonio Salcida. John Pepe Salerno. Rama Sali and her unborn child. Richard L. Salinardi Jr. Wayne John Salaman. Norbert Solomon. Catherine Patricia Salter. Frank G. Salvatierra. Paul Richard Salvio. Samuel Robert Salvo Jr. Carlos Alberto Samaniego. John P. Sammartino. James Kenneth Samuel Jr. And also for my dear sweet friend, Joyce Ann Carpenetto, who worked on the 83rd floor of the North Tower at General Telecom. She's loved by everyone who ever knew her, and especially by me. I'll never hear another Ramones song and not think of you, Joyce. Thank you for all you have ever done for me. And I just want to say that I would love to have another life with you as well. I'd be so honored. Thank you so much, and thank you very much to the Tunnel to Towers and to the the Siller family. Thank you very much.
Michael San Philip. Hugo M. Sine. Alva Cynthia Jeffries Sanchez. Jacqueline Patrice Sanchez. Jesus Sanchez. Raymond Sanchez. Eric M. Sand. Stacy Lee Sanders. Herman S. Sandler. Jim Sands Jr. Aileen J. Santiago. Kirsten Reese Santiago. Maria Teresa Concepcion Santillan. Susan Gale Santo. Christopher A. Santora. John August Santori. Mario L. Santoro. Rafael Humberto Santos. Rufino C.F. Santos III. Victor J. Saraceno. Kayan K. Sakar. Chappelle Renee Stewart Sakar. Paul F. Sarli. Deepika Kuma Satalori. And my sister, Laura Marie Raganisi Snick. Laura was all that is good, that is kind, and that is loving in this world. She loved everyone she met. She loved her son James unconditionally and her husband John tremendously. Sadly, we lost John 2 years after Laura died of a broken heart. She loved and cherished her family tremendously, and she loved this city, especially her Yankees and her Rangers. She loved this country, and she was a true patriot. She loved Jesus, and I'm sure that's where she is right now in heaven with him. Finally, Laura was 11 months younger than I, and we should be growing old together right now. Never, ever forget.
Gregory Thomas Saucedo. Susan M. Sauer. Anthony Savas. Vladimir Savinkin. John Michael Sabarbaro. Samuel M. Sala. David M. Scales. Robert Louis Scindoli. Michelle Scarpita. Dennis Scalzo. John Albert Shart. John G. Scharf. Fred C. Sheffield Jr. Angela Susan Scheinberg. Scott Mitchell Schertzer. Sean Schelke. Stephen Francis Schlag. Robert A. Schlegel, John Schlissel, Karen Helen Schmidt, Ian Schneider, Thomas G. Scholes, Marissa DiNardo Scorp, Frank G. Scott, and my husband, Tom Strada. You are the love of my life. You are deeply missed each and every day by your 3 beautiful children and everyone that knew and loved you. I will never forget our last few moments together when you walked into the nursery to kiss your 4-day-old child goodbye. You leaned down, you kissed him on his tiny little toes and said, "I'll see you later, baby." Winked at me and said, "I'll be home early." For over the last 2 decades, we have been now fighting for the truth to what happened to all of our loved ones. And while we stand here united today, remembering our loved ones, let's continue to honor their lives by standing united against all of the injustices we, the 9/11 community, are facing, and remember who is responsible for our pain and suffering, the hollow in our hearts, the empty spaces at our tables, and throughout our lives. That responsibility lies with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and we all deserve to know the truth. Because of evidence from a long secret FBI investigation, we now know there is a direct tie between the kingdom and the horrific terrorist attack on our nation that goes far beyond the fact that Osama bin Laden and 15 of the 19 hijackers were Saudi. This evidence confirms that kingdom agents directly aided the 9/11 attacks themselves by providing a critical support network for the first arriving hijackers. Instead of the kingdom taking responsibility for their agents' direct role in supporting the terrorists, the Saudis have spent hundreds of millions of dollars to hide evidence that will further confirm their involvement in the murder of our loved ones, all in an effort to evade responsibility for the malicious acts of their own agents whom they sent to the United States. The Department of Justice needs to stop cowering to the Saudis and providing them a cloak of secrecy. This is wrong. This is cruel, and this needs to end. America's allies do not dodge accountability and hide evidence about their government agents' efforts to help the hijackers brutally murder Americans on American soil. Justice and accountability, 2 things we all deserve, necessitate that all of the facts need to be laid to bear. Anything less is unjust and un-American. May all of those killed on 9/11 rest in peace, and all of us left behind find some kind of peace here on earth. Thank you.
Gerard Patrick Schrang, Jeffrey H. Schreier, John T. Schroeder, Susan Lee Schuller, Edward W. Shunk, Mark Evan Schermeyer, John Burkhart Schwartz, Mark Schwartz, Adrian Victoria Shabetta, Raphael Scorsha, Janice M. Scott, Randolph Scott, Christopher J. Scudder, Arthur Warren Scullin, Michael H. Seaman, Margaret M. Seeliger, Anthony Segarra, Carlos Segarra, Jason M. Sexter, Matthew Carmen Solito, Michael L. Salvez, Howard Sullivan, Larry John Senko, Arturo Angelo Serino, and my father, Police Officer Ramon Suarez. Dad, words can't describe how much we miss you, and we love you. There's never a day that you aren't brought up in conversation. 19 years, and it doesn't seem real. The family loves you. We all miss you tremendously. I will continue to wear your badge with pride and honor. Your legacy will forever go on. We love you.
It is my honor to read the following names: Frankie Serrano, Marion H. Serva, Alina Sesanova, Adele Christine Sessa, Sita Normalia Sunareen, Karen Lynn Seymour, Davis Greer Cessna Jr., Thomas Joseph Segroy, Jaish Shantala Shah, Khalid M. Shahid, Mohammed Shahjahan, Gary Shamay, Earl Richard Shanahan, Dan F. Shanauer, Neil G. Shastri, Karen Ann Shatzoff, Barbara A. Shaw, Jeffrey James Shaw, Robert John Shea Jr., Daniel James Shea, Joseph Patrick Shea, Kathleen Shearer, Robert M. Shearer, Linda June Sheehan, and my own personal hero, Port Authority Police Officer Paul Lazinski. You were my hero from the day you walked into my life. Your sister Jay is married. Your niece Nicole is getting married. You're a grandfather now. There's many that love and miss you every day. Ride free with the angels. Love you. And thank you to the Stephen Stiller Tunnel to Towers Foundation for stepping up, and God bless America.
Hagay Sheffy, Antoinette M. Sherman, John Anthony Sherry, Atusashi Siratori, Thomas Joseph Schubert, Mark Schulman, C. Wong Shum, Alan Abraham Schwartzstein, Claren Shelley Siegel Schwartz, Joanna Siegman, Diane T. Signer and her unborn child, Gregory Skokorski, Stephen Gerard Siller, David Silver, Craig A. Silverstein, Nasima H. Simji, Bruce Edward Simmons, Diane M. Simmons, Donald D. Simmons, George W. Simmons, Arthur Simon, Kenneth Allen Simon, Michael J. Simon, Paul Joseph Simon, and my father, Police Officer Paul Talty. Dad, words cannot describe how much we love and miss you all. Not a day goes by that we do not think about you.
Marianne LaCory Simone, Barry Simowitz, Jane Louise Simpkin, Jeff Lyle Simpson, Cheryl D. Sincock, Kamlade Kami Singh, Roshana Ramesh Singh, Thomas E. Sinton III, Peter A. Syracuse, Muriel F. Siskopoulos, Joseph Michael Sisolak, John P. Scala, Francis Joseph Skidmore, Jr., Toyana Corliss Skinner, Paul Albert Skrisbeck, Christopher Paul Slattery, Vincent Robert Slavin, Robert F. Sliwak, Paul Kenneth Sloan, Stanley S. Smagala, Jr., Wendy L. Small, Greg H. Smallwood, Catherine T. Smith, Daniel Lawrence Smith.
Thank you to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation for giving me the opportunity to read today in memory of my father, Battalion Chief Joseph Grislak. 19 years is a long time, yet still feels like yesterday. At 52, you had so much more life to live. You'd love being with your Twinkie grandkids and talking sports with Joe and Neil. I'm sure they'd love a helping hand with projects too. I try to ensure your memory lives on in your grandsons, Joseph and Ryan. Joseph is a mini Joe Knows, full of trivial facts, and everyone tells me Ryan's personality and mannerisms remind them of you when you were 7 years old. You've been their guardian angel since their NICU days, giving Ryan that divine intervention he needed to fight through his challenges and come home to us. All 4 kids have learned to love America as much as you. As Ryan said, today is a big, big, big day because we celebrate Poppy Joe. And that's just what we will do because that's what you would want us to do. We will celebrate you and all those who died and continue to be taken from us. I hope you're dancing and drinking your Coors Light. I miss you. I love you. God bless the FDNY. God bless the USA. Cheers.
Thank you, Tunnels to Towers, for giving me this opportunity to speak on the behalf of the following names: Gary F. Smith, George Eric Smith, Heather Lee Smith, James Gregory Smith, Jeffrey R. Smith, Joyce Patricia Smith, Carl T. Smith Sr., Kevin Joseph Smith, Leon Smith Jr., Mariah Ann Smith, Rosemary A. Smith, Bonnie Shiaday Smithwick, Rochelle Monique Snell, Christine Ann Snyder, Diane Bullis Snyder, Leonard J. Snyder Jr., Astrid Elizabeth Sohan, Sushil S. Solanki, Ruben Solares, Naomi Lee Solomon, Daniel W. Song, Mari Ray Sopper, Michael Charles Soresi, Fabian Soto, and my grandfather, Deputy Chief Ray Downey. He was a father, a husband, a brother, and a friend. He was also a leader, and 19 years ago, he led his men and women to save as many lives as they could that day. It was just another day at work doing what he loved. Nanny talks about you every day. You are forever missed and loved. We know you are watching over all of your kids and your 16 grandkids. We love you, Poppy, and we will never forget. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Timothy Patrick Solis, Gregory Thomas Spagnolete, Donald F. Sampanato, Jr., Thomas Sparaccio, John Anthony Spatatoro, Robert W. Spear, Jr., Robert Speisman, Maynard S. Spence, Jr., George Edward Spencer III, Robert Andrew Spencer, Mary Rubina Sparando, Frank Spinelli, William E. Spitz, Joseph Patrick Spohr, Jr., Klaus Johannes Spackham, Saranina Siri Moon, Fitzroy St. Rose, Michael F. Stabile, Lawrence T. Stack, FDNY Captain, Timothy M. Stackholm, love you. Richard James Stadelberger, Eric Adam Stallman, Gregory Stack, Alexandru Liviu Stan. I would like to thank the Stephen Silla Tunnel to Towers Foundation for giving me this opportunity to represent the New York State Court officers and our heroes, Mitchell Wallace, Tommy Jurgens, and Harry Thompson. God bless the military, and God bless the United States of America.
Karina Stan, Mary Dominica Stanley, Anthony Starita, Jeffrey Stark, Derek James Stadivekis, Patricia J. Stats, Craig William Staub, William V. Steckman, Eric Thomas Steen, Alexander Robbins Steinman, Edna L. Stevens, Andrew Steropoulos, Andrew J. Stern, Norma Lang Sturl, Martha Jane Stevens, Michael James Stewart, Richard H. Stewart, Jr., Stanford M. Stoller, Douglas Joel Stone, Lonnie J. Stone, Jimmy Neville Story, Timothy Stout, Thomas Strada. We would also like to remember Peter Teague Milano and firefighter Thomas William Kelly. Thank you all for what you have done, and thank you to the Siller Foundation. God bless. Thank you.
James J. Strain, Jr., Edward W. Straub, George J. Struck, Jr., Edward Thomas Strauss, Stephen R. Strauss, Larry L. Strickland, Stephen F. Strobert, Walwyn Wellington Stewart, Jr., Benjamin Suarez, David Scott Suarez, Ramon Suarez, Dino Xavier Suarez Ramirez, Yoichi Sumiyama, William Christopher Sugra, Daniel Thomas Sir, David Mark Sullins, Christopher P. Sullivan, Patrick Sullivan, Thomas G. Sullivan, Hilario Soriano Sumaya, Jr., James Joseph Sozo, Colleen M. Supinski, Robert Sutcliffe, Celine Sutter, and to my brother, firefighter Jeffrey James Olson. Jeffrey, to the world, you were a hero. To your family, you were the world. We love and miss you every day. Thank you, the Siller Foundation, for giving us this opportunity today.
Claudia Suzette Sutton, John Francis Swain, Christine M. Swearson, Brian David Sweeney, Brian Edward Sweeney, Madeline Amy Sweeney, Kenneth J. Swenson, Thomas F. Swift, Derek Ogilvy Sword, Kevin Thomas Sosick, Gina Stetzenberg, Norbert P. Zerkowski, Harry Tabak, Joanne C. Tibek, Norma C. Tadai, Michael Tadonio, Kichiro Takahashi, Keiji Takahashi, Phyllis Gail Talbert, Robert R. Telhami, John Talignani, Sean Patrick Talon, Paul Talty, Marita Tam, and my brother, firefighter Michael Francis Lynch. I know you're proud of Denise and the great job she's doing with your beautiful boys. Grief is truly the price we pay for love.
Rachel Tamares, Hector Rogan Tameo, Michael Andrew Tamuccio, Kenichiro Tanaka, Rondell Cherie Tankard, Michael Anthony Tanner, Dennis Gerard Tayermina Jr., Kenneth Joseph Tarantino, Alan Tarasuitz, Michael C. Tarot, Ronald Totaro, Deborah Tavalarella, Darrell Anthony Taylor, Donnie Brooks Taylor, Hilda E. Taylor, Kip P. Taylor, Leonard E. Taylor, Larissa Ceylon Taylor, Michael Morgan Taylor, Sandra C. Taylor, Sandra Dawn Teague, Carl W. Teep, Paul A. Temeyer, Yeshivant Morshore Temby, and my husband, New York State investigator Salvatore T. Papasso, who gave his life, like so many others, to help rescue anyone that needed him. Thank you, Tunnel to Towers Foundation, for allowing us to say their names. I pray for our beloved city, and may God bless America.
Anthony Tempesta, Dorothy Pearl Temple, Stanley L. Temple, David Gustav Peter Tengelin, Ryan John Terenzi, Lisa Marie Terry, Gumadi Thakyudeen, Hershad Sham Batty, Michael Theodoridis, Thomas F. Thurkauf, Jr., Leslie Ann Thomas, Brian Thomas Thompson, Clive Ian Thompson, Glenn Thompson, Nigel Bruce Thompson, Perry A. Thompson, Vanava Alexi Thompson, William H. Thompson, Eric Raymond Thorpe, Nicola Angela Thorpe, Tamara C. Thurman, Sal Edward Thierry Jr., John Patrick Tierney, firefighter, Mary Ellen Tiesi, and my son, firefighter George Kane. We love and miss you, George. Not a day goes by that we don't think about you and do everything in our power to honor you and honor all who were taken from us that day. God bless all our first responders, especially today, our police and firefighters. You need all our prayers, and you have them, and our military. God bless America. Pray for California. They need our prayers, especially the first responders out there. And thank you to the Silla family. And God bless all the families who have walked this journey with me for 19 years. Together, we have been strong, and we will always stay strong and honor our lost loved ones. God bless America. Thank you.
William Randolph Tiesti, Kenneth Teachin, Stephen Edward Ty, Scott Charles Timms, Michael E. Tinley, Jennifer M. Tino, Robert Frank Topoldi, John James Tipping II, David Torrado, Hector Luis Torrado, Jr., Michelle Lee Titolo, Alicia Nicole Titus, John J. Tobin, Richard J. Todisco, Otis V. Tolbert, Vladimir Tomasevich, Stephen Kevin Tomset, Thomas Tong, Doris Torres, Luis Eduardo Torres, Amy Elizabeth Toyin, Christopher Michael Trena, Daniel Patrick Trant, Abdul Kareem Traore. God bless my best friend, Captain Terrence S. Hatton. God bless my best friend, Patrick Patty Brown. Thank you to Frank Siller and the Siller Foundation for providing the leadership to read the names out loud today. Thank you, Frank. And thank you to America's Mayor for supporting this wonderful foundation, Mayor Rudy Giuliani, for leading us through those very hard times. Thank you, Mayor.
And thank you, Firefighter Tim Brown, for all you've done. I'm honored to present the following names: Glenn J. Travis Sr., Walter Philip Travers, Felicia Yvette Traylor Bass, James Anthony Trantini, Mary Barbara Trantini, Lisa L. Triotola, Paramo Baba Terra, Michael Angel Trinidad, Francis Joseph Trombino, Gregory James Trost, Willie Q. Troy, William P. Celepidis, Jr., Zanetta Valentinova Soy, Michael Patrick Tucker, Lance Richard Tumulty, Ching Ping Tong, Simon James Turner, Donald Joseph Tuzillo, Robert T. Toomey, Jennifer Lynn Zemis, John G. Yusef Hofficer, Tyler Victor Ugolin, Michael A. Giuliano, Jonathan J. Human. To my brothers and sisters in the New York City Police Department, we lost 23 on 9/11 and over 200 post 9/11. May they all rest in peace. To the Siller family and the wonderful foundation, Tunnel to Towers, they help not only first responders, but our veterans and even citizens of New York after Superstorm Sandy. Thank you, and may God bless you. To our audience and those at home, God bless all of you, and God bless the greatest nation on this earth, the United States of America. Thank you.
Anil Shavari Umarkar, Alan V. Upton, Diane Marie Urban, John Damian Boccaccio, Bradley Hodges Vadas, William Varkasel, Felix Antonio Vale, Ivan Vale, Benito Valentin, Santos Valentin Jr., Carlton Francis Valvo II, Pendiala Vamikrishna, Erica H. Van Acker, Kenneth W. Van Auken, R. Bruce Van Heim, Daniel M. Van Laer, Edward Raymond Vanacore, John Charles Van der Vander, Frederick T. Varachi, Gopalakrishnan Varadhan, David Vargas, Scott C. Varsel, Azael Ishmael
Vasquez, Ronald J. Valk, and all of those who have died from 9/11 related illnesses. Thank you. God bless the United States of America.
Archangel Vasquez, Santos Vasquez, Peter Vega, Sankara Sastry Bellamori, Jorge Velazquez, Lawrence G. Verling, Anthony Mock Ventura, David Vera, Loretta Ann Burrow, Christopher James Belonga, Matthew Gilbert Vienna, Robert Anthony DeCaro, Celeste Torres Victoria, Joanna Bidell, my brother-in-law, firefighter John T. Vigiano II, and my husband, Detective Joseph Vincent Vigiano, Frank J. Vignola Jr., Joseph Barry Villardo, Carabella Villoba Hernandez, Sergio Gabriel Vinueve, Santel Vincelli, Melissa Renee Vincent, Francine Ann Vigilio, Lawrence Vigilio.
Joseph Gerard Visciano, Joshua S. Vitale, Maria Percoco Vola, Lynette D. Vosky, Garo H. Vosker-Egian, Alfred Anton Vukosa, Gregory Kamal Bruno Wachter, Karen J. Wagner, Mary Alice Wallstrom, Honor Elizabeth Wiano, Gabriella Silvina Waisman, Wendy Alice Rosario Wakeford, Courtney Wainsworth Walcott, Victor Wald, Kenneth E. Waldy, Benjamin James Walker, Glenn Wall, Mitchell Scott Wallace, Peter Guider Wallace, Robert Francis Wallace, Roy Michael Wallace, Jean Marie Wallendorf, Matthew Blake Wallens, Mita L. Waller. And I'd like to honor the 3,000 children who have lost a parent due to the September 11th attacks. Our lives were shattered 19 years ago, and our innocence was robbed from us. I stand today to represent the hope and the strength that has come from this tragedy. To all that are affected by heinous acts of terrorism, you don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. And to my father, Thomas Strada, how I wish you could walk me down the aisle in just 3 weeks, but I will carry you in my heart. We love you, we miss you, and we will never forget. God bless.
John Wallace Jr., Barbara P. Walsh, Jim Walsh, Jeffrey P. Walls, Ching Wang, Weibing Wang, Michael Warkola, Stephen Gordon Ward, Timothy Ray Ward, James A. Waring, Brian G. Warner, Derek Christopher Washington, Charles Waters, James Thomas Waters Jr., Patrick J. Waters, Kenneth Thomas Watson, Michael Henry Way, Todd Christopher Weaver, Walter Edward Weaver, Nathaniel Webb, Dinah Webster, William Michael Weems, Joanne Flora Weil, Michael T. Weinberg, and my father, Police Officer Paul Talty. We love and miss you always.
Stephen Weinberg, Scott Jeffrey Weingard, Stephen George Weinstein, Simon Weiser, David M. Weiss, David Thomas Weiss, Chin Sun Pak Wells, Vincent Michael Wells, Deborah Jacobs Welsh, Timothy Matthew Welty, Christian Hans Rudolph Wemmers, Sui Wen, John Joseph Weckhaus N2, Ole D. Wengerchuk, Peter M. West, Whitfield West Jr., Meredith Lynn Whalen, Eugene Michael Whalen, Adam S. White, Edward James White III, James Patrick White, John Sylvester White, Kenneth Wilburn White Jr., and Leonard Anthony White.
It is my honor to read the following names. Melissa Y. White, Magdalene A. White, Sandra L. White, Wayne White, Leanne Marie Whiteside, Mark P. Whitford, Leslie A. Whittington, Michael T. Hooley, Mary Lenz Weeman, Jeffrey David Weiner, William J. Wick, Allison Marie Wildman, Glenn E. Wilkinson, Ernest M. Wilshire, John Charles Willett, Brian Patrick Williams, Candace Lee Williams, Crossley Richard Williams Jr., David J. Williams, David Lucian Williams, Debbie L. Williams, Dwayne Williams, Kevin Michael Williams, Louis Anthony Williams. What a beautiful day it was. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and the city was full of life. I had just turned 15 years old, and it was my first day of sophomore year at Holy Cross High School in Flushing, Queens. My father had just retired after 29 years as a detective with the New York City Police Department, and my family had just begun to rise from the ashes following the death of my 5-year-old sister to brain cancer the year before. That beautiful morning turned into our country's darkest hour, and none of us saw it coming. Every single day is a gift, and we should never take it for granted. On the morning of September 11th, thousands of people had every intention of seeing their loved ones that night, but never got the chance. Live every day as if it were your last, because you never know what tomorrow has in store for you. Today I remember those who were lost, especially my cousin Michael Rourke Andrews, who worked for Cantor Fitzgerald and was on the 105th floor when the North Tower was struck at 8:46 a.m. on that dreadful morning. He never had a chance, but he is missed by everyone who loved him so. We also remember all those whose lives were lost fighting to protect and preserve our great nation. I'm a vigilant New Yorker and proud to live in the greatest city in the world. This morning I took a walk over by the memorial, and much to my surprise, there were more people there today than there were last year. It's where we should have been. There was no reason to cancel this year's traditional ceremony. But I thank the good Lord that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation stepped up and provided us with an alternative sanctuary to remember our loved ones. And God bless everyone involved in making today happen. Our locally elected officials and the powers that be tried to take this day away from us. But come hell or high water, we will never let that happen. Remember in November. My thanks to the Vice President and Mrs. Pence for being with us today, and to our great President, thank you for working tirelessly to keep America safe. From those who wish to burn our country to the ground, both abroad and most recently at home. God bless our amazing boys and girls in blue and all of our brave first responders, and to our military men and women, you are forever our heroes. Remember, we live in the land of the free because of the brave. Say a prayer and never forget, for on this day, there is nothing more important. Thank you.
With thanks to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, I am honored to read the following names: Louis Calvin Williams III, John P. Williamson, Donna Ann Wilson, William Eben Wilson, David Harold Winton, Glenn J. Winnock, Thomas Francis Weiss, Alan L. Wisniewski, Frank Paul Wisniewski, David Wiswall, Sigrid Charlotte Wisry, Michael R. Wittenstein, Christopher W. Wodenchik, Martin Phillips Woolforth, Catherine Susan Wolf, Jennifer Yen Wong, Su Chang Steve Wong, Yin Ping Wong, Yuk Ping Wong, Brent James Woodall, James John Woods, Marvin Roger Woods, Patrick J. Woods, Richard Heron Woodwell, and my father, Battalion Chief Joseph Grislak. Dad, 19 years still feels like 19 minutes. As a proud United States Marine Corps Vietnam vet and even more proud battalion chief in the FDNY, it was apparent to everyone who knew you how much you loved serving your country, your city, and your job. It was even more apparent how much you loved your family. Your fun-loving presence and bushy mustache are sorely missed, but many of your personality traits are evident in your 4 grandchildren. Please continue to guide us, protect us, and unite us again like we were on September 12th, 2001. Our family marches on each day to preserve your legacy and make you proud. Today, we celebrate your life and all of the precious lives lost in tragedy. Although I will never stop seeking the truth, today we celebrate America. Our spirit has not and will never be broken. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. God bless America.
Captain David Terrence Woolley, FDNY Ladder 4, John Bentley Works, Martin Michael Wertley, Rodney James Wotton, firefighter William Wren, John W. Wright, Neil Robin Wright, Sandra Lee Wright, Jupiter Yabin, John D. Yamnicki Sr., Sarish Yana Mandala, Vicky Yancey, Sharin Yang, Matthew David Yarnell, Myrna Yaskuker, Shakila Yasmin, Ol Abizi Shadi La Yani Yi, Kevin W. Yoakum, Edward P. York, Kevin Patrick York, firefighter Raymond R. York, Suzanne Martha Humans, Barrington Leroy Young Jr., Donald MacArthur Young, and my brother, Captain William F. Burke Jr., Engine Company 21. Thank you, Billy, for all you did that day and that how you watch over all of us to this day. Thank you.
Edmund G. Young, Jr., Jacqueline Young, Lisa L. Young, Elkin Yuen, Joseph C. Zaccoli, Adel Agabi Zakari, Arkady Zaltzman, Edwin J. Zambrana, Jr., Robert Allen Zampieri, Mark Zangrilli, Christopher R. Zarba, Jr., Ira Zaslow, Kenneth Albert Zellman, Abraham J. Zelmanovitz, Martin Morales Zempoal Tecatl, Zhe Zhang, Mark Scott Zeppelin, Ji Yao Justin Zhao, Yu Zhang, Evelyn Zeminski, Michael Joseph Zinzi, Charles Allen Zion, Julie Lynn Zipper, Salvatore J. Zisa, Prokopios Paul Zois, Joseph J. Zukala, Andrew Stephen Zucker, Igor Zuckelman. I'd also like to recognize firefighter Bob Newman and all those that we continue to lose from 9/11 related illnesses. Thank you.
The following are the victims of the February 26, 1993 bombing. John D. Giovanni, Robert Kirkpatrick, Stephen A. Knapp, William Mako, Wilfredo Mercado, and Monica Rodriguez Smith and her unborn child. And on 9/11, my husband, Joseph Grislak, FDNY Battalion Chief of Battalion 4-8. Our lives were forever changed by 9/11. Memories of lost loved ones, dreams of what could have been, and milestones missed. You missed the marriage of your 2 daughters and the birth of your twin grandchildren twice. You would have been a great poppy. Our loss is felt daily. Even though you are far from my arms, you will always be in my heart. Sending hugs and kisses to you and your 343 and counting brave brothers. May you all rest in peace. God bless America.
Lee S. Failing, Jennifer Louise Fialco, Carl M. Flickinger, Jeanne F. Gamboa, Judith Lauder Jones, Ann C. Judge, Thomas Edward Jurgens, Edward Francis Maloney III, John Joseph Murray, John Joseph Murray, Alan M. Palumbo, William R. Steininger. May they rest in peace.
Please welcome Rabbi Potasnik to deliver the benediction.
God of all faiths, we wear masks to protect us from sickness, but there are no masks to protect us from sadness. Let us remember a young boy who lost his father on 9/11. I said to him, "Tell me about your dad." He said, "My father was always there for me and used to buy me so many toys. Rabbi, I want to make a deal. I'll give you all the toys. Give me back my father." I said to him, "The memory of your father will bring you strength." There is a prayer that says, "Teach us how to live with the broken pieces." You have taught us how to live with gratitude in the face of grief, and how to live with hope in the face of horror. Doctors may speak of PTSD. You taught us PTSG, post-traumatic stress growth, teaching us how to begin again. So today, we understand that 23rd Psalm because together we all walk through this valley of the shadow of death, holding on to their memories, holding on to this moment, and above all, holding on to one another. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Please proceed to the exits and maintain social distance. Thank you all.